Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader at TechTrader.com. It's Tuesday night, August the 13th. These are the charts of the day at TechTrader.com. Very sloppy market today. Indices closing positive with negative technicals, never a good thing. But there's still a lot of stocks that are performing well. And although I said last night I would show you some shorts today, we can do that during the course of the session tomorrow or pre-market. But right now I want to go over a lot of good-looking charts. As a matter of fact, with Apple breaking out potentially today, it maybe put a hold on everything, but we'll have to just see what kind of follow through. If you take a look at the chart here, Apple reaching last September 705, dropping all the way down to 385, rallying and then retesting, and then finally the breakout came, the retest, couldn't get through the 50, broke away on a breakaway gap through the 50, pulled back to test, moved up to secondary resistance, formed a little flag on a 4-day pullback. Boom, the last 2 days, it's gone from under 450 to over 490, and today jumping 22.21 or 4.75% of 31 million. That's the biggest volume on an up day in Apple since way back here in November. So good stuff, potentially big base breakout, but we do have resistance in the zone. If we can just follow through, our near-term target is 515. Our second target is 550.55 up in that area. Up next is ARTX. Now, not a good close in this, but I want to show you the overall chart pattern. Here's a 3-day chart. Here's a weekly chart. You can see that in the course of from 05 to 09, this stock dropped from 24 all the way down to pennies. Let's see what the exact low was, 35 cents in 09 when the market got crushed. And ran back to 2.25. It pulled back. It based in this zone. Today it's spiked up to the top of that pattern. Once again, at these highs here and here, and backed off dramatically. So we'll have to see if there's a follow through, but it's worth noting that the coil broke with a big move a couple days ago, and today it's spiked up on 4 million shares, up 26%. Now, way off the high, but still a decent session and a big gain on the day. We'll see if they get any follow through. Today's high at 271 would be key resistance. We'll just have to, again, keep an eye on it. ATVI, well, I really like the way the stock's set up. First of all, breakaway gap here, broke it out of the big wedge or coiling base pattern that lasted quite a while. You can see years. It did break out here in 2011, only to back off again. But this line held support-wise, and it built a big base that then supported a move that broke it out here. Ran up to secondary resistance, pulled back to test, and you can see moved back up. 2.5, 3 weeks ago, this stock had a big breakaway gap on earnings. It ran up to above resistance and pulled back in a very neat, orderly falling wedge. Today it popped out, volume increasing to 8.4 million. It jumped to $1.63 or 28 cents or a dollar. I'm sorry, 28 cents or 1.6%. Doesn't look like a lot, but it could be the beginning of a move. So I'm going to be keeping close tabs on this one, ATVI, with a target up around the 18 and 40 area, followed by a move up towards 19.5, 3/4. Beat, acting well. I like the way it looks here today. Made a new high, but it reached the top of this channel and may have some resistance. Did back off 836, close 805. That was up 40 cents or 5%. 1.6 million traded, biggest volume in a couple of weeks. So maybe we're going to get a spike up. He gets this towards 9 3/4, 10 zone. Dang, one of the better Chinese companies out there with a large coiling base, a strong move up, a beautiful wedge, exploded out at wedge from 6.25 all the way up to 12 today. That took it through some key resistance from the 2012 high. And if you can punch through here, my next target will be up around 15, followed by 19. Although it's a little extended here, I look for some pullback consolidation like it did in here. DGIT. First of all, we had a big pop, breakaway pop 3 days ago and consolidated for a couple of days. When it broke out yesterday, or started to, I put a swing on it. Today, the big breakaway gap got all the way up to 14. I believe I had a higher target on that, but I'll have to double check. In any case, it looks like 15 and a half was my target. And so even though it did pull back and close at 1260, not a great close, It still was up 229 or 22% on 7.2 million. Big volume for that stock. Let's see if it can extend. I'm looking for a test of that 15.75 range, and punch through there would be key. INSY, very nice day today. This little biotech popped from an opening of 1883 up to 23.5 before backing off to 21.86, up nearly 4 points, 22%. The volume was the biggest in about 2 months. Nice move up. Top of the channel, though, we'll have to see if we can get an extension or a consolidation in this zone. MRVL Marvel broke out a week ago, formed a little flag, and today broke that flag. Here's what the flag looks like. Today it pops 67 cents or 5.25% on 7 million. And the way the channel is looking, this could be reaching up towards the $15 range, maybe 15.5 short term. Micron's been wonderful this year. It's run all the way from breaking out of the base pattern that formed in here, ran up to resistance, consolidated, and had a nice steady run up to the top of the channel. Backed off and retested again, and moved back up. Today, it popped, looked like it popped through resistance. 85 million shares, 85 million shares traded today on the breakout. And now I'm looking for a move up to 17.5, my next target. NPSP has been awesome, and although it had a big breakaway gap a couple days ago, you can see that it has followed through to the upside with no pullback. Very strong action. Looks like this wants to go even higher. We are at the top of the channel. I would love to see a pullback, consolidation flag, or some sort of setup for more upside. But this stock's already moved from 7 to nearly 25 just in the last 7 or 8 months. So be careful, but it's strong, and momentum's a strong thing there. NQ, talk about momentum. Look at this move. 7 to nearly 20 just in the last 6 weeks. We did have a little pullback retest. It stalled yesterday, and today broke out, jumping 361 or 22.7% on more than 10.4 million shares. So maybe in a spike up mode, we could see this traded to the low 20s. Swing trade OLAD doing great after the pullback. After I gave you a buy on the pullback, it pulled back even deeper, but held near support. Popped yesterday and exploded today for 343 or 10% on 2.1 million. So what I want to see here is if this declining top line can be taken out, which could lead to a test of the 43-44 range, my next swing trade target. The first swing trade target around 39 was about a point short today. So swing trade ONVO worked out well as we put it in around 465 with a $6 target, and it reached 599 today, 1 cent off that target. Closing out 594, up 6% on 3.5 million. It looks to me like if it does get through this level, around that 6.25 level, we could see this run into the 7.5 area. OSIR, monster move, stock of the day today, jumping 1478 or 139% on 9 million shares. To say the least, a huge, huge breakout from a long base. Now, usually when it closes this high near the upper end of the range, you're going to see some follow through. I think we're going to see the stock 29.30 short term. Q-Core, nice little flag today. Broke out. I put a swing on it. Let's see what we get on it. I'm looking for 80. The channel top way up here is about 120. That's a long way from here, but I'd like to get somewhere in between that, up around 80, 85. And stay tuned on this one. Could be powerful. Chinese internet company Renren. Even though I'm very sour on some of these Chinese stocks, I think this one has some legitimacy to it in that it traded 17 million shares today. After popping a week and a half ago and flagging for a week or coiling, it broke out 61 cents or 15%. And as I said, it's heavy volume. Looking for at least a follow through to the $5 range short term. If we get through that, we may see the stock run as high as 6.5. RMTI, our swing trade, after popping and pulling back and then coiling, finally broke that line today and closed above it at 517, up 26 cents or 5.3%. Looks to me like this wants to go, and my next target is 6.25. SR, very unique explosive move here, and then a pullback. A little bit of a coil broke down, and it formed more of a falling wedge or channel. flag. Today it popped back $1.20 or 10%. Volume isn't heavy, but I need to see this explode with volume through here and make it up to my $19 target short term. UBNT ubiquity with a big pop 2 days ago when a pullback held the top of the broken channel, and today popped another 214 or 8% on 1.4 million. I think this stock has legs. We may see 35, 36 short term. Probably a decent swing trade. And lastly, Xerox. Oh yes, they had old stock, Xerox. We're moving beautifully today with a breakout to new multi-year highs. It closed at 1049, up 34 cents, 3.35%. Nearly 25 million traded on today. I'm looking for a move that takes us to 12 short term. And that's it for tonight. Everyone have a good evening.